Revenge films.
My name is Bob Brown. It was just another day. One day out of my ordinary life. I happened to check my phone, only to find out my wife, Emily, had been cheating on me. It was during the time when my wife and I hadn't been, intimate with each other for about a year. We had just had our first child, our son Jonathan, and I gave her the benefit of the doubt that she might have been going through postpartum depression or something. I decided to let her off the hook if this was just a one-night thing. Well, I didn't divorce her or anything. I just did some research and made my moves against the side guy. Without knowing any of this, Emily was visibly flustered at the fact that this guy suddenly stopped responding to her messages. I noticed a shift in my life, as I would come home to hear Jonathan crying in their room all alone. She would say,
"Jonathan, I was crying all day. I was too tired. I couldn't do anything,"
and not take care of the house at all. So I decided to take initiative and took care of Jonathan. I bathed him and made sure he was properly fed. I also cooked for my wife and me, and did the other household chores like doing the laundry. So this must be the rumored maternity neurosis. That's why I thought I wanted to do the best I could to help her and support her if she was having a rough time. But one day, when I was at work, I got a text from my wife.
"I want to see you. Why aren't you texting me anymore? Life is meaningless without you. I don't think I can go on like this. I miss you."
I saw this text pop up in the notifications menu of my phone, but when I opened the message up, the message I saw wasn't there. She had unsent it. She accidentally sent the message meant to the side guy to me. Man, I didn't know she was this madly in love with this side guy. I decided to man up and make the tough decision. Set my wife free. One day, I asked my parents to take care of Jonathan for the day and asked Emily out on a date.
"Well, yeah, sure, but what's up? It's been a while since you asked me out for anything."
Well, I think you're just tired. You seem really drained these days, so I thought it'd be nice if we could go somewhere and get some fresh air. I spoke as I drove, and soon we arrived at our destination, the city's hospital. Emily looked confused as she reacted.
"Huh? The hospital? Are you saying hi to a friend or something?"
So I responded, "We're here to visit a person that's very precious to you. I wanted you to be happy, so I kept it a secret." I talked as we walked, and I brought Emily to the destination. Emily was so drained, tired, and stressed out, there was no way she could have guessed right. I don't think it was in any of her options. Even when we reached the room and saw the nameplate beside the door, she still didn't seem to catch on to what was going on. "Hey, how you doing? I'm here to check in on you," I called out to the man in question in a relatively cheery voice. Kevin seemed to be sleeping when we came in, but when Emily noticed whose room this was, she instantly turned pale and gasped. She panicked and stuttered as she spoke.
Who could this be? Huh? It can't be, but, pleased to meet you?"
Oh, honey, don't be silly. He's sound asleep, can't you tell? Wakey, wakey! Hey, wake up! I added an extra slap to his cheeks, thinking it would help. Kevin opened his eyes drowsily. The nurse quickly noticed something was off in this hospital room and came rushing over to see what was going on.
"Mr. Brown, sir, please. This is hospital grounds. How many times must I tell you? We need to ask you to stop this at once. You know this isn't your first time being told this, am I right?"
She cried at me angrily and pushed us out of Kevin's hospital room. Aw, man! I just thought it'd be a good idea to pay Kevin a visit. I thought he would be a sad man all alone in his room. Don't you think so, huh?
No, that's not...
Well, at least you know where he is now. You know which hospital he's in and what room he's staying in.
No, that's... Honey, listen, I can explain.
Oh, and also, I found a new place, a new apartment for you to live in.
No, that's not what I wanted. Please, just listen.
Nah, Em, you don't need to be so thankful like that. I just wanted to do this for you. I just want you to be happy.
Bob, I'm sure we can make this work. You're not listening to me.
She began to speak back to me, as if she had the right to do so. So instead of yelling or shouting at her, I just stared straight into her eyes, coldly. So, after that whole conversation settled down, I took Emily and drove her to this new apartment, also known as Kevin's apartment, right by the hospital. I had already borrowed the keys from Kevin, so there was no trouble at all getting into his room. Well, you should already be familiar with this room. You've been coming over to Kevin's place for over a year now, right? Oh, and before I forget, this paper. Fill it out for me, will you? I pulled out a piece of paper and handed it to Emily.
You're divorcing me? No, please just listen. It's not what you think.
She seemed really emotional about it, and I had no idea why. Come on, I said it's fine. You don't need to worry about anything. I'll take care of the difficult stuff. I kept a cheery tone in my voice, but I could tell my eyes were very cold as I stared down at her. Letting out a big sigh, she signed the papers for me.
Is this the end for us?
You're so happy that you're crying? Wow, I'm so glad I did this for you. You really are making my day right now. I'll make sure I'll send all your stuff here by mail. Oh, and you don't need to worry about paying the consolation money. You have a whole new life ahead of you. Emily watched me as I left. In front of the entrance hall, she fell to her knees and wept. And so, by the end of that day, I was happily divorced. And I was a free man once again. It's not like I went out of my way to hurt Kevin or anything. He got himself into an accident when he was driving his motorcycle. I dropped by Kevin's workplace one day and happened to bump into him, who just arrived. Hello there, sir. I'm the husband of the girl you're dating. Kevin, still on his bike, suddenly accelerated and fled from the scene at full speed. He couldn't take the turn at the curb in time, fell over, and slid down the road for a good 30 meters. Well, I at least didn't just leave him lying there. He was passed out cold, so I called him an ambulance. Hey man, bro, hang in there. Are you okay? Why did you suddenly speed up like that? Kevin looked like he was in a lot of pain, and his left leg was completely broken and bent in the wrong direction. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He repeated that like a broken record. Don't worry, man. We'll sort things out later when you get all checked up, okay? I tried cheering him up, but Kevin was shaking and trembling throughout the whole ambulance ride. This is where I borrowed Kevin's apartment keys from his bag. Trust me, I did have his permission when I visited his apartment to grab some extra clothes and amenities and stuff. And I still have no idea why he completely lost it when he saw Emily.
Hey, Kevy. I heard that girls don't get extra pregnant if they already are. So you don't have to use any contraception when you're with me.
Wow, seriously? Hey, that's awesome! I wish you could stay pregnant all the time. Well, this made me feel sick. Since they just seem to be so madly in love with each other, I'm sure Kevin must have been over the moon to see his sweetheart come and visit him in the hospital. I always thought DNA test was a joke or something. I think you can guess what I did. I checked the DNA of my son, Jonathan. Lo and behold, it was the child between Emily and Kevin, not me. He wasn't my kid. First of all, it's obvious that Jonathan's done nothing wrong. It's not like I suddenly began hating him or anything, but I decided to ask Emily's parents to take care of Jonathan for now. I am so sorry for what happened. I don't know what to say. We'll make sure to scold Emily very harshly when she comes back home. As for Emily, Kevin's stay at the hospital stretched out longer than she expected. She began to struggle financially and became cornered to the point she had to return to her parents' place and ask for their help. Obviously, they did not let her back into the house. Time passed, and as Kevin got discharged from the hospital, she moved in with him, returning to his apartment. Kevin was still struggling from the sequela. Currently, Kevin has found a small job where he can work from home and lives as a house husband. But God knows how much he earns. Because of his physical disabilities, it seems he isn't able to properly take care of the baby. So in the end, it seems like they dropped Jonathan off at a daycare while Emily worked outside, during the day as a part-time office worker, and during the evening at a hostess bar. When Emily used to be with me, she loved fashion and always made sure she was following the trends. and bought new clothes for each season. But when I ran into her a few months after the whole drama, she was nothing like how she used to be. It seemed like she was spending the bare minimum on clothes, no accessories, nothing glamorous. Plus, I have no idea if Kevin is able to do, with Emily in the near future. But I'm sure Emily had done it enough times. She went so far as to do it with Kevin while she was pregnant. She should be satisfied now. As a married couple, I realized the true importance of helping out each other and truly looking after each other. In hindsight, I'm glad I was able to learn this lesson the hard way. I'm happy for Emily, too. She's finally able to be together with her sweet husband. She must be leading her happily ever after life. I'm glad things worked out for her. I hope they'll stay together as a happy couple from now on.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.